The creator economy is one of the fastest growing markets right now. If you want to be a part of it, you have to work hard. But you do need some help, and that means software. When money is tight and you don't have a budget to pay Adobe a ton of money that you're not even making right now, today I have found you the best alternatives. These are standalone apps with products and real teams behind them and robust features that you can actually rely on. I see a lot of creators taking sponsorship and showing you alternatives to paid ads, but most of them are not that good, and a lot of time they are just startups that have thrown together an app that doesn't work as well as it should. Look, you can hate Adobe as much as you want, but there is truly no replacement for the Adobe's ecosystem right now. They have spent years building tools that are still at industry standard, but that's the conversation for another day. Today, let's talk about free alternatives, all the apps that you will need to start your creative video journey. DaVinci Resolve. You can use this app as an alternative to both Premiere Pro and After Effects. DaVinci is the only free alternative that I would recommend if you want to go pro in video editing. It offers tons of features and it has the best color grading workflow out there. Better than Premiere Pro or even Final Cut Pro. But honestly, the free version is enough for most of us. And this isn't an afterthought. DaVinci Resolve is the real deal. It can also handle some VFX work that you will normally do in After Effects, though After Effects is still better for that, which brings us to the next tool. For an After Effects alternative, I would recommend Cavalry. Cavalry is a software that went free and it helps you create 2D designs and motion graphics. It is pretty intuitive and it has a wide enough library of tutorials to get you started. Here is the biggest challenge that comes with the alternatives in general. There aren't just enough tutorials on YouTube. With Adobe, you can find infinite number of guides for doing infinite number of things, but with alternatives, you're on your own a lot of time. But Cavalry does have solid tutorials, and the big bonus is it actually supports After Effects files. You can load AI files directly into Cavalry, which makes the transition a lot smoother. For graphic design and photo editing, I would recommend Affinity. Now for Photoshop, if you need an alternative, first worth knowing is Adobe's web version of Photoshop is actually free right now. That's just the easiest option if you want to access the basic features. But if you want a fully offline standalone alternative, take a look at Affinity. Affinity covers Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator and InDesign in just one single app. Affinity is very close to Photoshop in functionality. It doesn't have every feature, but and basic graphic design, it is more than enough to keep your content game going. Once you start earning, you can invest in Adobe subscriptions. For audio, you don't need a lot, but here's what I recommend. Use Adobe Podcast to clean up your audio. It makes it sound great. It is still actually free, but you need to actually edit your audio, cut, arrange and mix. You would normally need Adobe Audition. But if you don't want to pay for that, you can use Audacity. Audacity has been free for years and tutorials are everywhere. And it is generally great for audio editing. It's been a community staple for a long time and it holds up. For quick motion graphics, a lot of people are turning to AI tools to generate them. Things like Motion.so or other AI motion graphic designers. But you don't need to pay for that. Here's what I do. I use a library called Remotion, which lets you build motion graphics with code. I just copy paste prompts from ChatGPT and paste them directly into anti-gravity, which writes me the code for Remotion just renders out motion graphics. I can export them anytime and it looks great and it costs nothing. So that's the full list. DaVinci Resolve, Cavalry, Affinity, Audacity, Adobe Podcast and Remotion.